Tonight at 9, an alarming number of petty thefts in the city of Central. The unusual item that's rolling away from parking lots.
And calls for resignation after a Lafayette court judge allegedly used racial slurs following a burglary. Hear reaction tonight.
Live, you're watching Fox 44 News First at 9, your local news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kellyanne Biley.
And I'm Tavarius Haywood. Thank you for joining us for Fox 44 News First at 9. Tonight, a series of petty thefts are taking over the city of Central.
Shopping carts are leaving store parking lots by the dozens, but the question is it really a crime? All right, Jonah Gilmore joins us now with that answer. Jonah?
Yeah, Kellyanne and Tavarius. Central Police tell me in one neighborhood they saw about 50 carts, so I took a look for myself, and on one corner I saw at least a dozen. Now, if you're caught taking them, you could be hit with a fine or face jail time.
Let's lay off of the policing of carts.
No, you shouldn't take them. It's not yours.
Shopping carts are being rolled away from this Walmart and being found in this neighborhood just a block away.
I can vouch for the people that live across the street from this very Walmart. Most people don't have cars, and they're probably providing for their family.
According to a Louisiana law, taking a cart from a store's property is theft.
Somebody has to purchase these so that we can shop, and if they're not here, somebody loses money.
Somebody over in Central Woods had one of the electric carts that go through Walmart to get your groceries, plugged in the front of their house. They were using it like it was theirs.
Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran says if caught, you could get a fine or worse.
It is a misdemeanor, and it's punishable by up to 6 months in jail.
And along with theft, he calls it a safety issue.
If you ride through there and you hit one, or you go to dodge one, there's ditches there, you can get in a bad wreck. Somebody can possibly get killed.
According to Chief Corcoran, Walmart employees have been using their personal trailers to collect the carts.
Sometimes there's as many as 50 carts over there.
People say taking one of these is not worth a run-in with the law.
To the people that can return them, return them.
And you hear that the chief tells me they really don't want to put anyone in jail for a shopping cart. So if you're taking them, which you should not, just bring it back. Reporting in the studio tonight, Jonah Gilmore, Fox 44 News.
Pretty simple there. Thanks, Jonah. I want to turn now to some developing news this evening. We now know the identity of the man killed today from a drive-by shooting on Thomas Delpit Drive.
Baton Rouge police say it happened just after 1 this afternoon near the intersection of Terrence Avenue. Police say 62-year-old Walter White and 2 others were shot while standing outside of a barbershop. White died at the scene. The other 2 men are expected to survive.
Stay with us on air and online at brproud.com as more information becomes available.
The Bonnie Carey Spillway remains closed tonight after a helicopter crash on I-10 in Laplace. State police confirm the pilot died and was the only person on board. The crash happened around 12:30 this afternoon. The east and westbound lanes of the spillway are now closed until 2 a.m. Entergy crews are reinstalling transmission lines that the helicopter brought down during the crash. Drivers are directed to take Highway 51 as an alternate route.
People are calling on a Lafayette City Court judge to step down after video surfaces allegedly showing her using racist language. Judge Michelle Odenay calls her own use of the language disturbing and says she was, quote, shaken to the core after an armed burglary at her home over the weekend. Fox 44's Nils Zarang has more reaction.
When you go to court and you know somebody have said those type of words, you cannot be comfortable in court thinking that somebody is going to treat you correctly. So this is a problem. This is a major problem.
City Marshal Reggie Thomas is the first African-American elected in a citywide seat in Lafayette. When he heard about the video circulating online and thought he heard racial slurs from Judge Odenay's mouth, it hurt him.
A weak apology will not suffice.
When called about the video, Judge Odenay emailed us a statement. She said, the incident shook me to my core and my mental state was fragile. I was a wreck and am still unable to sleep. I was given a sedative at the time of the video. I have zero recollection of the video and the disturbing language used during it. Anyone who knows me and my husband knows this is contrary to the way we live our lives. I am deeply sorry and ask for your forgiveness and understanding as my family and I deal deal with this emotional aftermath of this armed burglary. As the report spread, so is the outcry. The Lafayette NAACP president asked for Judge Odenay's resignation, even that her decisions concerning people of color be rescinded. State Senator Gerald Boudreaux is requesting the Judiciary Commission of Louisiana investigate, as well as the Louisiana Black Caucus.
It's nothing funny about what my ancestors went through, who were called that word. There's nothing funny about it. Let's respect those who were beaten, who they took the fire hoses out. So that's what it brings up. That's the hatred that it brings up. And so, do people feel comfortable? No, they don't.
None of the people behind the voices heard on the video can be seen as the camera is pointing directly at a screen showing security footage of the break-in attempt. But after Judge Odenay's response to the burglary and recording, some just can't accept nothing being done about it.
True character is shown in the worst of times. We could talk about apologies, we could talk about resignations, but I think what we have to talk about is accountability. Don't make excuses for something you did.
And that was Nell Zarang reporting. Judge Odenay failed to report to work today. She has yet to give any indication that she'll officially step down from her position.
And then continuing coverage, Louisiana residents who lost their homes due to Hurricane Ida are still being billed for power they don't have. Some say they've been charged more than $1,000. Entergy Louisiana says the bills could be for electricity and gas used before Ida hit. Those bills always include other charges like fuel adjustments and storm restoration charges. And with thousands still without power in Kentucky and more than 100 people are still unaccounted for, the state has a long road to recovery ahead.
In the meantime, neighbors, volunteers, and National Guardsmen are stepping in to help Kentuckians. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera brings us the latest.
The focus right now is restoring the power grid and getting food, water, and shelter to those in need. Everywhere you look, signs of devastation in Mayfield. The tiny town turned upside down after taking a direct hit.
This was the restaurant right here. And as you can see, there's nothing left of it.
You're still kind of in the state of how do we even start? Where do we go from here?
Utility crews are working around the clock to clear streets and get the power back on, but it's a daunting task.
Mayfield's electric, that is just, it doesn't exist. So that will take weeks and months to rebuild.
All over western Kentucky, people are rallying to help out their neighbors. This church in nearby Wingo taking in more than 100 people who have nowhere else to go.
They've been really helpful, clothing us, feeding us, able to take showers.
A fund set up by the state has collected more than $6 million in donations to help with recovery. Volunteers are pouring in from all over the country to help in any way they can.
I did not call a single person. These people showed up. They showed up.
You get down sometimes and you think that people were more divided than we are, but we are not. There is a common bond. People are good.
The Red Cross is also raising money to help people in Mayfield. There's a critical need for blood donations as well. Reporting in Mayfield, Kentucky, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Well, just ahead, seafood is certainly Louisiana's specialty, and Chef Jay Ducote is back to show us how to put any leftover crab meat to some good use. That'll be in this week's Cookin' Louisiana.
And coming up a little bit later in the show, hear why experts say depression is on the rise during the holiday season. That's up front at 9:30.